The president, the chief political executive of government. Oh, that does not have a monarch. The head of state, the chief executive officer of a corporation or other organization. A chair. A chair seat in census 3 and 4, presiding officer. Now, a lot of billionaires, they have a corporate structure where they've always been prepared in the event of some sort of accident that they are no longer able to be in control of their assets. Warren, Charlie. Now, the last 20 years, you kind of been helping yourself to whatever you wanted. So why don't you give me all the zoning exceptions, variances, yes, and the violating of all the zoning laws, yes, and the actual individuals that decided to do what you wanted to do instead of enforcing the zoning laws. Now, these presidents of your subsidiaries and corporations, I know Bill and Melinda are retired. Little different corporate structure, Koch. Yes, you two have been planning for one of the individuals in your employment to take over your whole enterprise, all $80 billion of it, plus whatever the company's worth. And you didn't want to go public. You didn't want to put it on the New York Stock Exchange. You didn't want to issue shares in College Enterprise. Did you already do that? You know, it could be the population would like to invest in your company. And I remember thinking that when I wanted to work for Yahoo, Superspace Cybercomputer. Do you remember the president of China? His name was Hu Jintao. Yes. Before Xi Jinping became the president of China, there was a president of China named Hu Jintao. Well, what happened? Yes, is Hu Jintao, yes, was the president, yes, and Wen Jiabao was the vice premier of China, yes. And there was a little question about what was going on back in 2011. Now, I was on Guam, and for some reason, the Chinese decided to trust me. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. Well, what happened was somebody turned on a satellite system that was global. Yes, as if we were all going to have the brains of some little mermaids and little mermen. And then there was George Soros, yes, Rupert Murdoch, and those in the royal family that like to keep a small lizard in their rectum. Well, I found out about it. And at that time, I was the bridge between China and the United States. See, the Americans were blaming the Chinese for the static that was on in the United States. You remember that? Where you put the population to sleep at night and you woke them up in the morning, and then everybody that had an orgasm, their memories went up into the electric grid. And we all were going to be completely void of what we had remembered when we were young. Now, this was 2011, 2012, 2013. Yes. Well, I dislike the lizard in the rectum. I'm really not a Illuminatist. As much and this thought of having sex with an invasive species that comes to find out that uses their sexual nerve endings as a communication system, I really don't know. Well, Hu Jintao.